For the love of games!
Shh. Don't make any sudden movements. It took me so long to get this close to these bowls. And I don't want to ruin it. Now let's do a sick burnout. Yeah! What's up, guys? How's it going? I don't know, man. My name is Steve from pixelattack.net, and welcome to our Peaks of the Crew, which is an big open world car, massively multiplayer, online racing game. Any other adjectives you think you can throw in there, you certainly can. Somebody is most wanted, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this is a game that was developed by Ivory Tower Studios, published by Ubisoft, and it came out on Tuesday, December the 2nd, which means I've had a few days to play with it, and I wanted to give you guys a quick video showing, off the game. Let's see what this is all about. So I think the big thing with the crew that sort of sets it apart is this is the map. Which, if you're looking at this and you're familiar with geography, which, no pressure, man, if this looks totally alien to you, no judgments from me. This is actually just the center of the universe, according to most people. This is the United States, and in the crew, you can literally go from coast to coast. The entirety of the United States has been rendered for your pleasure. I don't know about cities, obviously there's only a few cities that they've done, so let's zoom into the Midwest. You see we got Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis. That's about it. So I mean, it's not a one-to-one scale, but it is actually quite large. Like driving from Detroit to St. Louis, St. Louis, I don't know what you call it, man, I'm Canadian. So many people have just stopped watching the video right now, probably. But driving from Detroit to St. Louis is actually a considerable amount of distance. It took me a couple minutes, which was surprising. So the map is quite big. I want to say it almost took 90 minutes, the developers were saying, to go coast to coast. I can't recall exactly. But being an open world MMO, it has a lot of the same sort of design philosophies that you're going to see in an MMO. So, like, here is me on the map. That's me, Kilgore. Excuse the name. I made it when I was like 12, and Ubisoft doesn't let you change names because Ubisoft hates you. But you can see here there are icons on the map. These represent missions, and there's all sorts of side objectives. I mean, it is very much like a Ubisoft open world game. There are even towers that you can go to, which will sort of show you everything on the map that you can do. But we got here, see, these are like main story missions, and your car has levels. You have a character level. Let's click on this here. So you can see, like, my character is level 9. I am driving a car, which is, my current car is my Ford Mustang GT 2011, which is level 88. So it is very much an RPG. There are little side things you can do. You will get parts for your car that will upgrade it, all of that good stuff. Now, it's worth mentioning, like, right off the bat, that if you are looking for a car game, oh, hello, officer. Don't mind me. If you're looking for a car game that is akin to Forza Motorsports or Gran Turismo, which are very like enthusiast level car games, I'm gonna see if this guy gets mad at me for speeding. Nope, he does not care. That is one lazy cop. If you're looking for a game very much like Forza Motorsports or Gran Turismo, which are like enthusiast level car games with, you know, a high attention to detail and realism, this isn't necessarily maybe what you're looking for. This is much more akin to EA's Need for Speed series, where it's more of an arcade racer. At least when it comes to car performance and tuning options, there's not a lot. You're not going to be changing your suspension and things like that. What you are going to be doing is unlocking upgrades to your car, which just, you know, make it do better in a very linear fashion. It's very much akin to playing an RPG where you're getting better armor or a sword that makes you do more damage. Except for here, it's a tires, and they, you know, have a bonus to grip. You unlock perks in this game with your character levels. Actually, why don't we spend some of my perks right now? You unlock perks as your character levels up, and those perks have things like plus 1% to braking, car dealer, the HQ. Let's fast travel there. Like plus 1% to braking. So, enter. So if you're looking for, you know, something that's very realistic, this isn't your game. This is much more of an action arcadey style of game. You're going to be doing some insane things, like you're going to put giant mud wheels, I don't know what you call them in real life, but big wheels on my Mustang, and I'm going to drive it off-road in crazy, like, all-terrain races. So let's go here. This is our little, that's, what's her name? Zoe. She's kind of, she's a bit of a bee. So let's spend some points here on some things. So you can see here, like, you know, increase your car's braking. So sure, let's get more braking, because why not, man? 2% chance of 2 perk points at each level up. Sure. Let's make that a 4% chance. And then what's this one? Increase co-op bonus. Bucks plus experience and missions and faction missions by 2%. Let's just do more percent off of parts. There we go. Spend all my perk points. So this is my HQ. This will just show things like you got progression, which, you know, shows some cutscenes I can watch. There is the hidden car, which is you'll collect parts out in the world. You'll start getting radar pings, and if you go off road, you can find trashed cars out in the woods and stuff, and you can pick them up for hidden car parts. This is my car, the Mustang GT 2011, and then there's the collection, which will just show all the cars, but I only have the one right now. It's worth also noting that this is not a game where you are going to get a ton of vehicles very quickly. Like, they're not going to be throwing cars at you all the time. Now, you will be racing different cars in different missions, but you're not going to be owning sort of this wide array of cars. Cars are actually quite expensive in this game. It's very much an MMO in that you are going to be grinding to afford better cars in a lot of ways. So that's all stuff that you might want to keep in mind, just in case that's like a major turnoff for you. Why is there a light there that doesn't... I guess that's kind of an intersection. I don't know. But this is the world that you're driving around in. It's actually really well detailed. The graphics are okay. They're pretty nice. Certainly not as great as what we've seen in other games, but I would say that they certainly aren't a hindrance. I'm not disappointed by anything. The level of polish in the game is quite nice. I haven't encountered too much graphical glitches. A few times where I've clipped through the environment, or the camera has, rather, not me. As far as racing goes, the physics are kind of hit and miss. There are kind of wonky things where, you know, sometimes you'll be scraping up against a wall and you'll clip the geometry, and that'll just send your car into some crazy tailspin. The handling in the game, especially to start off, is awful. Because, like I said, this is an RPG and the cars level up in a very linear progression. It also means that starting out, you know, you're driving a Mustang GT 2011 and the thing handles like dirt. It handles horribly until I get some upgrades into it, and then it just sort of miraculously gets a little bit better, which is kind of silly, you know, to think that, oh, well, these tires are level 10, so they just do better now. But, you know, it is interesting. It is compelling. Leveling up your car is a lot of fun. Let's actually do something. Let's do a race. So you have mainline story missions, which we can do, and I want to do a pretty silly one. And all the missions will award parts. Missions are also a little nudge. I believe that's the one. Oh, you know what? And it is worth noting, like, here's a profile. This is a person who is driving, so I can zoom in on him and watch him, which is really actually kind of amazing how seamless the map transitions. Like, if I zoom out all the way and I want to go to Los Angeles and like, hey, what's going on in LA? It'll look a little distorted because I haven't unlocked it, but like, you can just zoom in on LA and this all loads seamlessly, which is kind of a really amazing feat. I don't know how this plays on the consoles. I am playing on PC. I should have mentioned that earlier, sorry. But regardless, let's do something fun. Let's actually do a race. So I want to do this one because it's an off-road race, and I think it is good at sort of displaying some things. So as I was saying, races will have different sort of tiers of completion, so you can get like bronze medals and stuff like that. Here's this guy I was looking at for a second. What's his name? J. Wambrosius. What's up, buddy? Let's actually do this mission together. Why not? Quick co-op. So all missions have an option for quick co-op, which will basically send out an invite to anyone in the area. Oh, it looks like he jumped into it, so I might not get anyone. But So basically everyone in the area, sometimes you'll get sort of things coming up saying like, hey, do you want to join this race with someone else? And you can just say yes, or you can just ignore it. It's fairly seamless. I will say that what I've experienced so far of the multiplayer is kind of hit and miss, and I think it's dependent a lot on people's... Okay, so quick co-op aborted, nobody accepted the invitation. That's okay. We can just do it solo. It seems like it is very dependent on people's internet connections. So I've had races where the internet was just very laggy, cars were kind of jumping and rubber banding all over the place, and it was kind of a nightmare. I've had races where after the race was over, I was stuck at a loading screen for a good 5 minutes, and it sounds to me like it was mostly just due to connection issues. So those are things to keep in mind, but I have had some pretty fun experiences with multiplayer. When it works really well, and it feels just very well integrated and seamless, which is what you want from an MMO. This isn't like Destiny, where it pretends to be an MMO and then kind of locks a lot of the social features around some really dumb design decisions. This one has a lot of great stuff in it. It's very seamless. There is a chat option, which I can make pop up there. Oh geez, that was kind of scary because I had to push a button on my keyboard even though I'm using a controller. The controls are good. Like I said, steering kind of feels wonky. I'm getting more used to it, and as my car is upgrading, I find it easier to do things. So I mean, like, look what I am driving right now. I'm obviously driving some kind of sports car, and it is just rigged out. This is called a raid spec. So certain cars can have different sort of kits applied to them that will help them perform in various environments. And this one is really good at off-road. It's also really good at ramming stuff. So my objective is to just actually smoke this guy. Oh geez. Don't go in the water. Okay. It happened. Just deal with it. There we go. That was a nice hit. Yeah, sick. So this is one type of mission that we do. There's racing missions, there are checkpoint missions. There are also smaller side objectives that you will complete, which I will do one that have, their own little objectives. There's one that's like slalom. There's one that just, go as fast as possible. There's one for seeing how far you can jump. Oh, geez, that guy got really far away from me. Oh, I'm totally gonna waste him. Wha-bam! There we go. Sweet. So there is like a pretty decent variety. Now, over the course of the entire game, I can't speak to whether or not that variety will be enough. From what I've seen so far, hey, silver, there we go. Is that an upgrade? Yeah, it looks like it is. See, there, like I got an exhaust part that has a grip bonus. Okay, cool. It has 0 impact on my car level though, so I'll just equip it. And then here we'll get all our little experience, and it'll return us back to free drive. And there's a flashy little cutscene. The game has, it's very well polished. There's lots of kind of cutscenes and, cool, gratuitous camera angles, flashing in and out, exactly what you're watching right now. But I like the way it sort of seamlessly transitions into you actually driving a lot of the times. It's cool. I mean, there's a radio that's really nice. You won't be able to really hear it because I have the music turned down so that you can hear my sultry voice. But as far as polish goes and just production values, the game is really solid. I'm kind of impressed. It runs really well. I haven't had any issues with multiplayer servers going offline. I haven't had any issues with the game breaking in any real way. The driving is, like I said, sometimes the physics are wonky and it's kind of hit and miss in that respect. But it's a cool game. If you have friends that would be into playing this game with you, I think it would be a lot more fun. Being an MMO, it's probably, it would behoove you, it would be to your benefit to go and get out there and meet some people or join, a crew or whatever, and run some of this stuff together. There's PvP events and things like that. I'm trying to find one that we can do. Let's do this slalom. I already got gold on it, but whatever, man. So this is just one of the mini side ones. Now, the interesting thing is, actually, one sec. Let's take a look at these. The interiors of the car are actually kind of like fully mapped out and detailed. Like I said, this game is really well polished. I'm gonna actually, no, oh, that's okay. It's a slalom, so I can hit it going a bit slower. So you can just go through these and it'll make a ghost car appear, and here I am trying to slalom. But they did a really good job of modeling the interiors of the cars. The cars sound amazing in this game too, which is great. So that's something, you know, if you're into that. The cars sound the best that they've sound like I've in any racing game, maybe other than Forza. But I mean, if you're playing this on the PC, it's not like you have a lot of options anyways, unless you're playing Need for Speed. And this game definitely at least beats out a lot of the newer Need for Speeds, I'd say. Maybe some of the older ones might hold, you know, might be a bit closer in quality or just in terms of, you know, amazingness. Like Underground and Underground 2 were both really amazing games. There we go. Hey, level 10. Okay, cool. My car just got 25 levels. East Coast skills unlocked. 1 perk point earned. So once you complete those, you just, yeah, convert it to bucks, man. Let's get some $14. Great. So glad I took part in that. You'll do that. It'll kind of reset your car for you. Oh, no, wait.
A dirt spec tuner in New York has reached out over the 510 net.
Cool.
You can get your cars tuned there anytime. But you might want to finish up around here before you get a new spec. Dirt spec cars are modified for strength and versatility and are perfect for racing on mixed terrain. Ideal for when you don't know what's coming. Dirt spec excels everywhere you can't trust the road surface.
Cool. So that was kind of going back into what I was saying with that car in that one mission I was driving. That was tricked out with a raid spec. So there's dirt specs, there's street specs, there's sports specs. Not all cars have access to all those specs, but, you know, at least the starter cars have access to all 5, and then other cars you may buy won't. So let's go to, let's actually go to the streetcar tuner, and we can take a look at just some of the options for customizing your vehicle, because that's another super important part of these car games. It's, you know, it's part racing, part customization, part progression systems. I would say customization and progression is where this game really excels. The racing's kind of, it's okay, it's serviceable. Sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating. All right, I'm gonna turn off the chat menu because no one's using it anyways. So let's tune my car. So you got your visual options. There's obviously colors, so there are the official colors that you can have. Let's turn this into demo mode. Okay, never mind. There's actually, this demo mode is hilarious because you can like, I mean, yeah, you can basically just pretend the thing's going, but there's silly options like I can roll down the windows, which I hope you can see. I can open up doors and look inside the car. And like I said, like the interior's, you know, mapped out. It's maybe not as great as other games I've seen, but there's been a distinct level of detail paid to this game. Can I not turn the camera? Okay, interior camera. I don't know. Let's go back to the visual stuff. Okay, so color, you have your official colors. There's, you know, a huge range of maybe non-official metallic colors. You got your iridescent if you're a total fool. Anodized, which, you know, some of those look pretty cool. Okay. And of course there's stickers you can apply to the car, flags, flaming. Racing stripes, which I have on the hood already, if you didn't already see that. You can change the interior, so that's where you can change the color of the interior, which is actually pretty cool, and there's, you know, a lot of options there. There's aluminum, you can do carbon, mixed aluminum, the options are insane. Front bumpers, I love just the production values of this, how, you know, the bumpers just flip out like that. Rear bumper, you know, fenders, skirts, rims, side mirrors. You can change side mirrors if you wanted, the spoilers and the hood. And if you press on performance, it rips the whole car off. And this is where you can go in and change out any parts you might have, or buy new ones. But it doesn't look like there's anything for sale here. And I'm pretty sure I probably have the best of what I've unlocked anyways. But like I said, these are all just parts. They don't change anything really in the way that they would actually affect a car or that they would work in other games. They're just these linear progressions. Like, I get level 7 tires, they're better than level 6 tires. Maybe my level 7 tires were gold ones and they have a bonus to grip on them. Or, you know, it's basically like a loot system baked into the game. Yeah, let's leave the tuner and we can go and check out some of the other cars that I have for sale. So I can go to the map here and let's take a quick peek at the dealer. I'll just pull forward and we'll enter the dealer. It is worth mentioning that the game does have a story that is fairly heavy on sort of just narrative plot points. There are cutscenes, there are characters you're dealing with. The story is terrible. Once again, the production value is really good. The cutscenes are pretty. The voice acting is solid for some characters and really bad for others. But like Troy Baker plays the main character, and you know he always does a good job. So, but the story is just this really stupid murder revenge story or whatever. You're trying to take down a crooked FBI cop. It's real dumb. You probably won't pay attention to it. I actually skip just a lot of the cutscenes because I just want to get to the races, which I don't typically do in a lot of games. So maybe that's kind of a testament to just how stupid it is. So this is only a small selection. There, I believe, are 40 cars in the game with 12 on the way if you order the season pass, and a few others you can unlock. So definitely not the same array or selection that you would see in other games. Some games, you know, they boast over 100 or so or whatever, but 40 cars is pretty decent. It's worth noting that there's only, I believe, 2 Japanese cars in the entire game, so you're going to be looking at a lot of European and American models. But let's see if I can afford anything. How much money do I have? I have $42,000, so that means I can only get the starter cars. And you know what? I'm not going to waste any money buying one of the starter cars since I already have a starter car. It would be better for me to save up for something a little bit more out of my price range that might give me a better boost. But you can see here, like, this car only can be used in the street spec, and the Chevrolet Impala can do street and performance. I want that Shelby. That's pretty cool. So, I mean, I think that gives you a pretty good idea of what the basic game looks like. I didn't touch on, you know, like the PvP events. There's special events going on. I didn't talk a lot about the social features, which are all there. So, you know, joining crews and working together. You know, it all, from what I've experienced, it all works, but it also kind of feels a little bit ancillary to the main game. I haven't really felt the need to jump into co-op except for just try it out or have some fun with it. It doesn't feel the same as an MMO does, where, you know, sometimes you end up making friends and having those kind of emergent social experiences together. But, you know, it still is, even without that stuff, it still feels like a really serviceable car game. If you're playing this on the PC, I would actually kind of recommend it. There's not exactly, you know, a wide selection of decent racers on the PC. And I think just the MMO aspect of it is compelling enough that it is certainly worth a look. Maybe you don't want to pick it up at full price. Maybe you want to wait for it to be on sale. That's totally cool. I definitely think that there is something to this game, though. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to finish off with one more race. The video is kind of going long, but who cares?
Yo, I got something I need you to see. Locations on the map.
Okay, so do we want to... No, let's just jump right into it. There are police chases in the game too, obviously. Police are okay. The intelligence for them is fine. They ram you a lot, which is what you'd expect from a police officer. I love how much this guy just hits fences. He's so reckless with his car.
Recognize that ride? He belongs to the St. Louis V2. Someone you told me you killed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait a minute for my boys, you'll find out.
Oh man. Yeah, see, the story's kind of dumb. Even just watching that, you're like, wow, that's kind of dumb. Alright, so I gotta escape his crew. Here they all come. Oh boy. That's a lot of them. It's great that, you know, being an open world game, you really actually have so much freedom.
What? How?
I don't know, but I've got his guys all
Oh
over.
geez.
Is your cover blown?
I don't think so, but I won't be working with Troy again.
Okay, let's not get captured. I will say that the captured meter feels like it goes up pretty quickly, especially when you're being chased by the cops. Lots of times, like, I would barely get pinned, and the capture meter or the arrest meter would feel like it would just jump. up to full. Whoops. And so lots of times I kind of was like, really? Like I definitely wasn't ready to put in the towel just yet, but whatever. There's a guy paragliding or whatever you call it. I don't know, the world's pretty cool. There's civilians that walk around. You can't really hit them. They'll always kind of jump out of the way. I don't think you can really kill people in this game. It looks like I am getting away from them finally. I don't know, I'll just punch the NOS. I don't know why you would ever want nitrous in a car that does off-road. That feels like a recipe for disaster, personally. But the world is really big, if you can't tell. And I mean, this is all just the open world. I can come back here later if I wanted to in my awesome Mustang 2011. All right, can I get away from these guys yet? Like, come on, man. Oh, geez. Okay. It looks like I just have the one guy left. I should be able to take him down. You can see there's the notice for the servers being taken down. I just want to point this out, how much I love this. So obviously Ivory Tower and Ubisoft, those guys are all French Canadians, and I just love that thank you for your comprehension is what they said in regards to the notice of the servers going down for 15 minutes. It's just, that really made me laugh because, you know, it's so typically like, thank you for your understanding. Thank you for your comprehension. There we go. That was a mission complete. So, I mean, going back and getting gold, it's kind of really addicting if you're one of those people that has to, you know, do the best in everything. I've certainly gone back and tried things many times before I got gold.
Alex, are you okay?
Fine. Any word on the V2?
She's gone. I'm sorry, Alex. Troy got her.
Oh, no.
Alex?
Okay, I'm okay. Guess with Troy burned, we're back to square one.
So, yeah.
The driver Troy's just put a hit out on.
Who's this?
My name's Herschel Craig, V2 in the Windy City. Come on over. I could use a guy like you, and I almost guarantee you won't get shot.
Zoe. Guy named Herschel Craig just invited me to Chicago.
Lucked out. Herschel's the V2 for Chicago. Him and Troy both want to be V4 for the whole Midwest. He can get you your ink, Alex. Set a waypoint and get to it.
There we go. That's that dumb story I was talking about. It's all about like getting different tattoos so you can climb up in a gang and take them down. You know, like I said, it's real dumb. Anyways, this video has gone on way too long, and I have a long way to go before I'm anywhere near this game. Actually, it's interesting. If I go here, it says I'm 3% done the game, and I've been playing for, you know, 4 hours now, which is, I really hope that that's not true because I do not want to put 100 hours into this game. Anyways, so far, final verdict. I mean, well, not final verdict, but my first impressions. This game's pretty sweet. There's a lot here to enjoy. There's some things that maybe are a little bit concerning and might be turn-offs depending on what you like from a racing game, which I've pretty much covered pretty adequately, I feel. But thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Sorry it went on a little long tonight. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too. It's nice to spend time together. Anyways, if you want more awesome videos or written articles, be sure to check us out at pixelattack.net. You can add us on Twitter at pixelattack. We would love to hear from you, so, you know, leave a comment in the video, let us know what you think, and we will see you guys next time.